Those pesky mosquitoes, right? Well, here to help us fight the bite is Sacramento-Yolo, Sacramento and Vector Control District Public Information Officer. We had the lovely Luz Maria-Robles. So great to have you back on the show. It's that time of year, right?
It's that time of year. Amazingly how time flies.
Yes, I know, right? My daughter already has a series of bites, as well as many people that I was talking to this morning. So they are out there. And mosquitoes this year, are we expecting a higher population? Because we're looking at hot temperatures right now and a lot more water.
Oh,
right?
Definitely. We had a very wet winter, and then all of a sudden we're right in the 90s. So bam, that combination of that stagnant water plus the hot temperatures create the perfect storm for mosquitoes to breed. So it promises to be a very busy mosquito season, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's going to be a buggy season, everyone. We have to be prepared, and that's why we're talking about this. Okay, and obviously West Nile is always front and center when it comes to mosquitoes. So what are we anticipating for this season?
Well, it's still a little bit difficult or too early to tell what kind of season it's going to be, but based on the wet winter and the very hot temperatures that we're already seeing, I think it is going to be a very busy mosquito season. West Nile virus through the years, or from year to year, it can change. Last year in California, we had 217 confirmed human cases, including 10 fatalities. So West Nile virus continues to definitely be an issue within our area and in California. And ever since the disease came to the state in 2003, there's been more than 500 deaths related to the disease. So definitely an area of concern, yes.
Okay, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people have kind of pushed that back on the back burner, and they don't think that it's such a big issue, but it still is.
Oh, it definitely is.
Just, I mean, enough motivation itself for us to really fight the bite and try to combat mosquito population on our own property. So let's talk about the services that the district offers.
So the district's office offers a variety of services, including free home service inspections. So as you notice mosquitoes with the season starting, if you do notice that you have a lot of mosquitoes in your backyard and you don't know where they're coming from because you're doing everything that you can to drain water, you can always call and we'll come out and do a free home service inspection. We also offer free mosquito fish. So if you have a pond, a fountain, a horse trough, we offer those as a good way to control mosquitoes naturally. We also offer free mosquito repellent wipes, which is something that people don't know. So free repellent wipes are available, as well as free presentations. And really the home service is probably one of the most used services that the district offers.
Okay, really important. And I know right now we're getting a shot of this, which is giving me the scratches. I'm getting the creepy crawlies a little bit. This is the mosquito life cycle, Luz. Explain what we're looking at right here.
Yes, and the reason I love to bring this is, one, because it creeps people out, and two, it's really important for people to understand what the life cycle for the mosquitoes are. Many people still don't understand that mosquitoes start their life in water. So what you're seeing here is you have the female mosquito that lays eggs on top of the water. Once those eggs hatch, they actually hatch into the little wigglies, the little larvae that you're seeing there. From the larval stage, they turn into the pupal stage, or what we call like a mosquito cocoon, if you will, and then from there they emerge as adults. What's important to note is that this life cycle is dependent on temperature. So the hotter it is, the quicker they will complete their life cycle. In the peak of summer, they can go from an egg to an adult in as little as 4 to 7 days.
Wow.
And when you think about the fact that one female mosquito can lay up to 200 eggs at a time, that means that in just one short week, you can have 200 mosquitoes flying around. And that's just from one mosquito.
And that's one mosquito.
One mosquito.
So hence the issue that we're talking about with the standing water and the spike in temperatures right now in the 90s. You're looking at the perfect opportunity for you to have a swarm of mosquitoes in the backyard.
Exactly. So
which
if
is
you
so
see this, I mean, the reason I like to bring this visual is because this is exactly what you would see if you left a bucket of water, a kiddie pool, a dog dish. So this is what you're looking out for. So if you do happen to see this, just dump it out, and then that will automatically kill the mosquitoes, which is what we want.
So any standing water, which obviously also includes neglected swimming pools, which is a really big deal. You'd mentioned the mosquito-eating fish, which is a great option for people to put into their pools. Also repellent, because we need to protect ourselves. So put on the repellent, keep an eye on the screens, make sure your doors are closed. Dusk and dawn, make sure you're covered. I remember because you and I have talked quite a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. So out of all of our 7 Ds of mosquito prevention, the most important ones would be to drain that stagnant water. It's at least once a week, go around your yard, inspect it, and dump out any stagnant water. That's going to go a long way, especially now for later in the season, to reduce mosquito populations. And then, of course, protecting yourself from bites is imperative, because you want to prevent those bites in order to make sure that you're not contracting West Nile virus. So using a repellent, people always ask me, what's the best repellent to use? And I always say, their best repellent is one that you're actually going to use. It does no good if it's in your shelf, in your bathroom cabinet. So just, you never know when you're going to be bitten. So it's imperative that people always protect themselves.
Okay, and especially if you're someone when the weather's starting to really get really nice, you're out and you're active during dawn or dusk, that is an absolute must to make sure that you are covering yourself.
Exactly. And there's some natural alternatives as well. People often ask about, is there any other alternatives aside from DEET and picaridin? So there's oil of lemon eucalyptus, and there's a variety of other more natural repellents if that's what you're into.
That's great. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I know it's a big concern, especially for a lot of parents. Luz, there's so much to talk about when it comes to mosquito protection. Where can people go for more information?
So the best place to look for information is our website, fightthebight.net. You can also request our services by calling us at 800-429-1022. But yeah, check out our new website, actually launching this week. It's easy to request any of our services. We want you to request the services, especially as we get into the mosquito season.
Yes, because if you're taking care of it and somebody else is, then we're going to limit the number of these guys. Everyone, more to come right here on Sac & Co right after the break. Making me itch.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.